Hey everybody, welcome back to the Projects for Pets YouTube page. This is a little bit different than what I normally do, but I'm going to consider this the coffee and crafting episode 2. The reason I did it this way is because I have been so busy the past few weeks. My full-time job has kept me so busy that I just have not had time to between work and my kids. I don't have the time to sit down and like chit chat and film something. So what I did was, and you see I'm drinking coffee, so this counts as coffee and crafting. What I did was I just recorded myself and I sped up this recording. I don't actually work this fast. I just recorded myself working on my Halloween wreath that I made. So prior to filming, I obviously went on my Cricut. I used Design Space. I picked out the designs that I wanted. I edited a little bit. I painted my wreath form. I used chalkboard paint, black chalkboard paint, and I cut out my vinyl. And you can see I'm struggling here to pull off my transfer tape. But I just thought, let me just record myself doing this part and then we can have a little chit chat on YouTube. So I am working a little ahead with my holiday wreaths. When this video posts, it will be August. I don't have my calendar in front of me, so I don't know which date. August 8th, I believe. But I filmed this in July. Um, but I love Halloween. I love the holidays, but Halloween is one of maybe my favorite. I would say that I love Christmas more, especially having children. And my oldest daughter is old enough to really love like the magic of Christmas morning. Like it just has a new meaning when you have children. But I've always loved Halloween. And my older daughter loves Halloween as well. She usually starts talking about Halloween in July. So it's really big in our house. My boyfriend loves it. And so we're hoping that the baby will begin to love it too. So I was feeling a little uninspired creatively leading up to this, and I just didn't really know what I was wanting to make. I was just kind of running out of, not really running out of ideas, but not really having the inspiration to really go ahead and get something started. And now here you can see me trying to line things up. One day I will line things up evenly. So there's two little holes on my wreath. It's a little hard to tell in the video where the twine will go to hang from. And I'm trying to get my wreath centered. It's very hard to do because the word is broken up. So you're going to see here where the O would be in people is a little ghost. So normally when I print out a word like this and I put something on the top, it's one word and it's all attached and I can put it onto the wreath form attached. But this word is broken up, two letters, a ghost, and then the remaining three letters. So it was a little difficult for me to get it lined up. So that's what I'm trying to do here. And it still doesn't turn out totally even, but you know, I'll get it one day. Just this day was not that day, but I still think that the end result turned out really cute. And this just reminded me that, you know what, art is art, and art is, I mean, how do you say art is perfect or not? Art is art. Art is what you make it. It's what the artist decides to do. It's how they decide to do it. And I showed this to a few people before I posted it on my website, and I said, tell me like where the mistake is. And they're like, what are you talking about? We don't see a mistake. So, you know what? Somebody reminded me recently that art is objective. And some people will love your art and some people will not love your art. So I have to stop being so hard on myself because I worked really hard on this and it's a time consuming process. I think before editing this video was like 28 minutes just to do this part. So obviously that doesn't include designing and cutting and putting the Cricut mats in and all that time that was spent doing that. So yeah, somebody reminded me recently to be more gentle on myself. But anyway, what I was saying is we really love Halloween in this house. So when I was feeling a little creative block for a while, I just started searching some designs in Design Space. I do like to make my own things, but sometimes I just need a little inspiration. And I found this. I think this whole thing was something that was completely designed by somebody. I can't exactly remember how I came across it. So here, this particular wreath kind of had me a little annoyed. I was pointing to the heavy grip transfer tape, which I will not be using anymore. And so let me backtrack a little bit. What I'm doing now is this is glitter vinyl, and this was part of what led to my aggravation making this wreath. I have never used glitter vinyl before, so I thought that you could just use the same setting on the Cricut machine to get it to cut. So the first full sheet that I sent through, and you can see these are big letters. So I needed to use a lot of vinyl, and there's a big gap in between. So there, you use a lot of vinyl, and then you also don't use a lot of vinyl when you have to cut it out. So I didn't know that even though I chose glitter vinyl in the Cricut print settings, that you probably will have to actually go in and edit those settings. Because when I sent my first sheet of glitter vinyl through, it didn't cut anything. It didn't actually, like, I saw like the outline of the letters, but it didn't cut through to that paper. So you want, for glitter, I learned after the fact, you want a kiss cut. That's what they call it. And I did not get that. So I was very irritated. I wanted to use the remainder of the glitter vinyl for another project to make something for my kids. And I was just upset that I thought I completely wasted it. So I cut out these words on red vinyl and it came out perfectly. So then I went on YouTube, right? And I was like, I can't let this go. How do you cut glitter vinyl? This is so dumb. I love glitter. I want to use it. Like, I want to use it for Christmas crafts. What do I do? So I finally found a good tutorial on explaining how to change the settings and for any material if you're having trouble cutting. And I guess I should have done this, just test it out on a small strip of vinyl beforehand, but I didn't do that. So lesson learned. And it also got me thinking I had tried glitter vinyl from the Dollar Tree, and I had the same problem where it wasn't cutting through to the paper. And I just thought it's the Dollar Tree, it's just not good vinyl. And I threw the whole thing away. I mean, I used a little bit of it, it didn't work. And I said, whatever, it was $1.25. I'm just going to get rid of it. So now I'm going to go back to the Dollar Tree and buy a couple of their rolls of glitter vinyl and test it out and do some test cuts on it and see what happens because this is like Cricut vinyl. So I paid, the Cricut price and I'm always looking for ways to reduce costs for the projects that I make. I don't want to like use cheap material, but if I could use inexpensive material that is still good quality, then I'm going to do that. So you can see I'm putting the final touches on this wreath. I really love how this turned out. This is just one side. This is going to be a two-sided wreath. And this side is going to say, people give me the creeps. And you'll see you probably saw it already in the preview of what the final design is. And by the time this video posts, it's been on my website for a little while, if it hasn't sold by then. And so I've said this in my past videos. I know I don't have many videos posted, but I just wanted to take an extra few minutes and really push the importance of supporting a small business and why it means so much to us. So there's a lot of time and effort that goes into something like this. I mean, this seems like a really simple wreath. It is easy to make, but it does take time. And, I see wreaths in that are sold in stores that are very elaborate. There's, ribbons and florals and the prices are just so high. And I could never justify spending that kind of money on a wreath, especially a seasonal one that I'm just going to be putting away for a majority of the year. So that's kind of how I got into crafting and wreath making. And I received a Cricut for Christmas this past Christmas. So that's how I got into making wreaths like this. But normally the wreaths that I make are on an actual wreath form and have florals and ribbons and it's still a process. It still takes me a long time to make them, but I can make them at a lower cost and make them still look really nice. So when you buy something from a small business, it's really, really special, not to just the person who created it, but to their family. Like when I got my first sale a few weeks ago, it was somebody who my boyfriend knows, and he tells everybody about my business because he's very proud of it. And so somebody who he works with purchased one of the wreaths, and it felt really good. And that person, took a picture of it hanging up in her house and then shared it with us later. And it just feels really special. It's more personal. And I'm not saying don't ever buy from a big box store. I'm not saying that because I do it too. But just consider when you see, craft fairs or vendor fairs, you might think that because something is homemade, it should be less expensive, but that's not necessarily the case. Or it should be cheaper than what it's posted, but that's not necessarily the case. Just think about the person who is behind that craft, the time that it takes to make that craft, the family that's behind that craft. I personally, I have 2 kids. My daughter loves to craft, and the baby is too young. We don't know yet, but it's a big deal when somebody supports me. And I got like 20 seconds left in this video. So I just want to leave it with that. I just want to thank everybody who considers small business supports, whether it's crafters, restaurants, bakeries, whatever. Just consider, next time you go out, next time you're going to spend your money, just maybe look up if there's any small businesses in your area that can help you. And that's all I got, guys. Have a great day. I love you all. Thank you for being here, and thank you for all your support.